Welcome to our channel. You can be informed about more interesting images and stories by subscribing to our channel. Never miss any new content by turning on notifications. Enjoy watching. World War II was marked by intense naval battles in the Pacific, where aircraft played a crucial role. Japanese torpedo bombers posed a significant threat to Allied ships, making the ability of gunners on aircraft carriers to hit these planes of vital importance. Japan's brutal treatment of prisoners of war was one of the most horrifying examples of human rights violations. Prisoners often faced horrific conditions, being frequently captured and executed. In November 1942, as a Finnish soldier prepared to execute a person alleged to be a Soviet spy, the condemned man was smiling. This incident occurred during the period when Finland, allied with Germany, was fighting against the Soviet Union. During the Okinawa campaign, the USS LSMR-190 was sunk by Japanese kamikaze attacks on May 4, 1945, after firing a series of rockets at the Tokishishima coastline. Okinawa was one of the bloodiest battles in the Pacific, with LSMR ships supporting amphibious operations. Air battles were relentless struggles requiring skill, bravery, and luck. Pilots faced technical challenges and collision risks, and air conflicts revealed the constant dangers pilots encountered. Seaman Raymond Hubert used an unexploded 16-inch naval shell as a rest spot on July 4, 1944. This was part of the Allies' strategy to liberate Pacific Islands from Japanese control. These victories were hard-earned, and Japanese resistance made the use of the atomic bomb necessary. During an air raid drill, British schoolchildren sheltered under their desks, while the British civilian population struggled to survive under the German Luftwaffe's bombardments. Drills helped reduce panic and provided a sense of control. In 1943, Coast Guard personnel watched the destruction of a Nazi submarine from the deck of the cutter Spencer. Protecting Allied convoys from German submarines was crucial in the Battle of the Atlantic, and escort ships played a critical role in neutralizing submarines with depth charges. On March 2, 1945, the 4th Marine Division, landing on Iwo Jima, launched an assault from the beachhead. The Battle of Iwo Jima was one of the bloodiest in the Pacific and met with fierce resistance from entrenched Japanese forces. Capturing the island was considered a significant milestone in the Pacific campaign. After the Normandy invasion in 1944, Allied forces advanced through France, liberating cities and villages from German control. The local population supported the liberating forces. Sergeant James Gregory and technician Omar Taylor faced tough conditions while serving near Düren, Germany. Soldiers in the B-24 squadrons in the Darwin region struggled to find rest between long flight missions. They lived a monotonous life during their duties, but this routine highlighted their efforts to find balance in the midst of war. During the Blitz, Londoners had to seek refuge in underground stations to protect themselves from air raids. These shelters became temporary underground communities, providing vital protection to civilians. On August 23, 1944, thousands of parachutes filled the skies over southern France. This operation was part of the Allies' efforts to liberate France and facilitated the advance of ground troops. The liberation of southern France was a crucial step towards victory in Europe. On August 25, 1944, after the liberation of Paris, Parisian women welcomed Allied soldiers with great joy. A soldier from General George S. Patton's Third Army was seen sleeping in Nazi leader Hermann Göring's luxurious bedroom. This scene symbolized the turning point of the war and the collapse of the Nazi regime. 2 U.S. Navy dive bombers were preparing to attack Japanese installations on Wake Island. These operations were vital for reclaiming strategic islands in the Pacific. Soldiers stood before the ruins of Hitler's mountain retreat Berghof in Berchtesgaden. The capture of this symbolic site represented the end of the Nazi regime. An American tank served as a shield for infantry soldiers advancing against the Japanese on Banville Island in March 1944. This event underscored the importance of coordination between tanks and infantry. Bombardment crews attempted to ease tension with humor before dangerous missions. In 1945, the 4th Marine Division, landing on Ama Beach, faced fierce Japanese resistance during the Battle of Iwo Jima. This bloody battle in the Pacific provided a strategic base for Americans. The island's capture was symbolized by the famous flag-raising photograph. After the Normandy invasion, Allied forces continued to liberate cities and villages in France, with the local population showing gratitude to the liberating forces. In December 1944, during the Battle of the Bulge near Düren, Germany, American 9th Division soldiers faced harsh weather conditions. B-24 squadron pilots needed rest after long missions, ensuring they were ready for the next task. During the Blitz, German bombings in London forced civilians to seek shelter from sudden air raids. Underground stations became safe havens despite the harsh conditions. In the apocalyptic moments of World War II, as the effects of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima were being discussed, the world was shaken once more. Then on August 9, 1945, the second bomb, known as Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki. It was even more powerful, but the rugged terrain somewhat diminished its impact. Still, the devastation caused by this attack was horrific and accelerated Japan's surrender, bringing the war to an end. The scene following the bombing of Nagasaki was like a canvas revealing the extent of the destruction and its devastating effects. The blow to the Pacific came during the Battle of Midway from June 7, 1942. Just 6 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. dealt a major blow to Japan, destroying 4 aircraft carriers, 1 heavy cruiser, and 248 Japanese planes. The victory at Midway was a turning point in the Pacific War for the U.S., shaking Japan's dominance and providing a significant morale boost to the Allies. During the Ardennes offensive, infantry soldiers advancing under harsh conditions thwarted the Germans' attempts to break through Allied lines. This battle showcased the intense confusion and fierce resistance. Allied troops used every infiltration and ambush tactic available to repel the German assault. On August 10, 1944, at Mons-les-Socs in Normandy, American soldiers singing around a piano provided a brief moment of respite and hope amid the chaos of war. The 2nd Armored Division played a vital role in the Normandy operations, fighting to liberate French soil. In the Ardennes Offensive of 1945, a cavalry reconnaissance unit member checked his machine gun. This battle was one of the bloodiest and toughest for the U.S., demonstrating the bravery of American soldiers. In September 1942, during the Battle of El Alamein, a German patrol was conducting reconnaissance in the Egyptian desert. This critical battle became one of the decisive conflicts in the Western Desert, with Allied forces under General Montgomery defeating the Axis powers. An American airborne ski battalion rested in the snow while training in mountainous terrain. Their preparation to fight under harsh mountainous conditions showcased their resilience and determination. At Omaha Beach in Normandy, American troops faced heavy resistance. The intense fire, mines, and obstacles represented the brutal struggle in the sector that saw the fiercest resistance during the Normandy invasion. In 1943, the American crew defending the Torokina airfield on Bougainville Island in Papua New Guinea played a crucial role in protecting this strategic airfield, which was key to the success of Allied operations in the Pacific. In 1941, at Stalingrad, the Red Army was attacking an apartment building, marking one of the most brutal conflicts of World War II. The Soviet resistance led to a major defeat for the 6th German Army. The chaos and brave struggle of this war turned into memories that left a mark on history. The human stories behind each battle, each hero, and each event continue to carry the deep impact and destructive consequences of World War II to this day. The core idea behind the decision was the fear that a land invasion of Japan would lead to massive casualties. The atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima completely obliterated an area of 4.7 square miles and caused devastating fires in the city, targeted due to its military and industrial significance. The bomb's explosion resulted in the immediate death of thousands and severe radiation injuries to many others. The destruction of Hiroshima showcased the devastating power of the atomic bomb and revealed one of the darkest periods in human history. In 1943, a RAF Lancaster bomber was conducting raids over Hamburg. Hamburg suffered extensive damage from Allied bombing, resulting in numerous civilian casualties. The bombings aimed to weaken Nazi Germany's military and industrial infrastructure and to demoralize the population. During the siege of Leningrad, city residents gathered around an unexploded German bomb. The long siege from 1941 to 1944 exposed the daily risks and dangers faced by the city. The threat of bombs exploding at any moment created a constant atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. You can be informed about more interesting images and stories by subscribing to our channel. Never miss any new content by turning on notifications. Enjoy watching.